Hi everyone, Stan here at J&D Gardens. If you're a new viewer, welcome. Please support the channel by planting that subscribe button. And if you're already a viewer, welcome back. Well, we got a great episode for you today. We're going to be giving you a 1-year review on the Hungry Bin Worm Farm. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about vermicomposting and our experiences for the past year. It should be pretty interesting, so stick around. Welcome back. Now I'm a little late bringing you this video. Probably should have brought it to you a little over a month ago, but things have been so crazy here. But hey, you know what? Better late than never. So for those who are watching this video for the first time and not familiar, let me explain a little bit about what vermicomposting is. Vermicomposting is like regular composting, except you're using earthworms to break down the organic material, and they'll create their poop, for lack of a better word, which is called worm castings. Now, if you're not familiar with the Hungry Bin is a worm farm that helps the worms do this. It's a continuous flow system. Food scraps and other organic material is placed here on the top, and the worms inside will break it down and condense it all to the bottom, where it's caught in this tray that you can harvest every few weeks. And on the bottom, there's a tray to catch all the drippings, which is called worm juice, which is also good for the garden. I'll leave some links at the end of this video for the starter video for the first ones that we did, and also leave a link to the video that the company made for it. It's pretty interesting. You can check that out. So where to begin? Let me tell you, this past year has been really interesting for us. It was almost like a trial by fire, or being thrown into the wolf's den or something like that, because a year ago when we first wanted to get into the vermicomposting, and like that, this isn't the first time we've done vermicomposting, but it was the first time we really put a lot of emphasis into it. And we did our research, we looked at all the different bins, and we finally settled on the Hungry Bin, and we did a lot of research, watched a lot of videos, and took some of our experiences and listened to other people's to get started. And it started off great. It was early, sometime in the spring, and everything was going well. Worms were eating well, and no problems. We were filling it in normally. Worms were just devouring everything. And then the summer came along, and my God, it was the most incredible summer we've had in years. It was incredibly hot. If you're from the Northeast, or if we're here in New Jersey, you'll know what I'm talking about. It was like constant 90-degree days. I think we went a stretch that it was without any rain for over a month. It was absolutely crazy. It was just so hot every day, 90 degrees and upper 90s too. And we were like real nervous. We kept looking at our Hungry Bin, checking up on them. I mentioned in another video at one point that the worms were trying to get out. It was so hot. They were crawling up the lid, and I wish I would have taken a picture. I didn't, but it was pretty wild. And it was just so crazy because it was just so hot. And we constantly have to check on them because we didn't want them to die. We have to make sure we put them in the shade, try to cool them down as much as possible, spray them with a hose every so often just to kind of keep it cool. It was just incredible, and it lasted all summer. And so that was really rough for the first time, especially like I said, we didn't want them to die, so it was really nerve-wracking for us. Then the fall comes around, and the fall temperatures. It was very mild fall, but it was almost like an Indian summer, I think they call it, and it was great because it was still hot, but not killer hot like in the summer, so it cooled down a little bit. So we went through the fall, no problems. Worms were eating great and everything, and then winter comes along, and we keep our worm bin outside, and it was actually a mild winter, but for some reason in early December, came out of nowhere. It was like over a week of single-digit temperatures. Now I know some of you around the country might say, well, single-digit, that's my summer, and I get that. But here in New Jersey, it just kind of came out of nowhere. We're used to cold winters, but out of nowhere it just automatically came. And I remember like having to deal with so much in the garden, getting all our cannas out and digging up all our rhizomes and everything. And I almost forgot a little bit about the worm bin. So I came out one night. I was like, it was like 8 degrees, like all day. And then I was like, I came out one day. I said, let me go check on them. They were kind of enclosed in a shed, but I came outside because it was so cold, and I went to take a look at it. And my God, this tray that I talked about that catches the worm juice, that was like full, but a block of ice. It was like a giant wormsicle. It was crazy. And then I was like, whoa. And then I was just checking out the container here, and it was like because there's so much moisture in it, it was like a solid block of ice. And I was like, thing weighed a ton, and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I thought all my worms were dead. I was so scared. I was like, I looked inside, I see a little movement. Now, worms don't eat much during the winter, but there wasn't that much movement. I'm like, oh my God. So one of the things that I love about the Hungry Bin, that it has wheels. So what I did is I kicked it over and wheeled it over to the garage, and just to warm it up. And I left it in the garage, and thank God I have a heated garage, because we germinated a lot of plants in there. But I got a space heater, put it by it, and started thawing it out. And within a few hours, it started thawing out, and all the more juice started coming out from the bottom. And then gave it a couple of days in there, and then but thank God, when I went to check on them, it was so warm in the garage. The worms were like crazy active. They started like chewing away everything. I was like, whoa, I got to make sure I have enough food for them. So I kept putting it in. So that was a really close call, because I was really scared I was gonna kill all the worms. So it was actually a really crazy year for us. But one of the good things about trial by fire, or being thrown into wolves, is that it makes you react and gets you figuring out how to deal with the problem, which is really cool, because you don't want your worms to die, so you gotta make it work. And kind of like the way I bring videos and share some of my knowledge with you, I took advice from other people as well, and I did my research, and it was kind of cool. As I made certain other videos, I had people commenting who have been vermicomposting for years, telling me that I'm doing the right thing, and giving me some pointers and some advice, and it was great. And I thank everyone so much for it. It was really cool, and also figuring out things for yourself, and what works for you and what doesn't. It's that old saying that necessity is the mother of invention. So like during the winter time, after I dealt with the whole worm juicicle thing, I figured out, I did a little research on how to make sure that they can, because I didn't want to keep them inside all winter. I wanted to bring them back outside, even though I knew it was going to be cold. So I found out ways online how to help keep them warm over the winter, and a couple of things that I came up with, which I'm going to be bringing you later on in the year. When probably early fall, so that if you have a Hungry Bin or another worm farm, you can take some of those ideas. And same thing, as I do some of the videos going on in the summer, I'm going to bring you some of the ideas that people gave me on how to keep them cool and keep them happy, so they keep eating and not trying to escape. So one of the things I mentioned when I first started the Hungry Bin is that I wanted to see how long it would take me to make up the money that I put into it, because we were buying worm castings. I think we kind of figured out it came out to be about $1 a pound. So I wanted to see how long it would take me, how much worm castings that I would need to get, how many years or whatever it would take me in order to make up the cost of it. Now, remember, I said the cost at the time, it might be more now, was $360, and we said that vermicompost per pound came out to be about $1 a pound. Could be different, but at the time, that's what we figured on. Now, every time I get a harvest, it comes out to be about 12 pounds. Now, it's usually a little heavier because it's wet. I like to dry my compost out, and then I sift it out, get all the big pieces out, and get it very fine and dirt-like. So for me, it comes out to be about 12 pounds a harvest. and it stayed pretty consistent. Sometimes a little more, maybe a little less sometimes, but generally about that. And that's what we figured. And last year we got about 8 harvests. Now that might not seem like much, but remember, the first year is always, you have to wait about 5 to 6 months for it to get started, and after then you start getting it every couple of weeks. It was really amazing. So after the first 5 months there wasn't anything. So we figured at 8 batches at $1 each, that was 96. So $96 from 360. So it's about still $264 that we have to pay off for this. Now, I know that seems, but that's the first year. And like I said, we'll probably get a lot more castings this year. This year, we've probably already, since, I said I was bringing you this video late, we've already had a casting, one batch, and we're probably going to pull another batch in a minute to show you what it's like. But the cost of it, it's not just what you're getting in the worm castings. Like I said, all the benefits of being able to throw your scraps out. And I probably should have taken into consideration the worm juice, because the worm juice is great fertilizer, but I'm not taking that into consideration. So we just figured that we still have $264 more to go in order to pay it off. So maybe that'll take another year or two, but that's okay, because like I said, I'm going to have this for many years to come, and I'm totally happy with it. So I'm going to bring the camera a little closer, and I'm going to show you that we're going to pull out another brick. Hopefully it should be done, and show you what it's like. All right, so I don't know if you noticed during the video, I had a bucket over here, and that was a bucket full of the actually worm juice, and I was kind of cleaning up around here. It was so much. This is a little over a week. Look how much that's created, and I still have some more, so I got another bucket because I didn't want to overflow that. A little tip, if you're doing it, we just had this whole area paved, and if you don't want, this stuff can kind of like almost stain, it's really dark. It's like a black or brown, and it's very potent. So I tell you, a little tip, if you have a hungry bin and you have it on a concrete slab or kind of paver like we have, you might want to put some kind of mat or something just to kind of protect it. You don't want any drippings on this, and if it stays too long, it could cause a stain and on your stone, and you don't want that, because it's, like I said, it's really strong stuff. So let me get a little closer here, and I think we'll be ready. I hope so. Let me just unclick it here. There's 2 latches. Whoa. That's pretty good. Whoa. That's the second batch for the year. Still see some stragglers in here. Man, it's I every time I see this, I just can't get over how well this stuff looks. It really looks like the way it does in the video. Look how fine it is. Look how they break that down. I know it's poop, but still, it's pretty impressive. I mean, this weighs, so it's a good amount. Probably the same thing when I dry it out. It's probably 12 pounds. And I could probably loosen a couple of stragglers here. Boys. Come on, guys. That's nasty, right? But if I break it up, there's probably some more pieces that are hanging. But I'm really happy. There's a good brick, and I could use it because we're going to make another batch of potting soil, so definitely can use this. So like I said in my other video, I showed you that I let it dry out for a little bit, then I sift it out, but I don't think I have to. It's come to the point they're just breaking everything down so well now. And like I said, I don't put too many big pieces in there. I put a lot of fruits and vegetables, and a lot of times I try to break them up. Nothing too hard. So that's probably why it's going so well too, because I make it easier for them to eat, easier for them to digest. But that's okay, because that's quicker that the worm castings come out. So I got a lot of worm juice here. I'm probably going to dilute that with some water, spread it around the garden, and let this dry out. And I got to do it quick before it starts dropping. I know there's a piece just dropped there, and maybe I'll hose this all out before. But really happy. And second batch, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot more batches this year, because these guys are eating like crazy. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video, this 1-year review, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to us. We absolutely love to hear from you. And be sure to hit like and subscribe and ring that bell. So from all of us at J&D Gardens, till next time, remember, yes we can.